What's up, guys? I'm Chef Jake Yates, and this is my brother, Parker. What's up, Parker?
Hey,
welcome to the show.
Guys?
Today, we are going to be doing guac. Now, listen, guys, guac is very simple, but it's messed up so many times. And I mean, it makes us sad because guac is supposed to be one of those things that's really enjoyable. Maybe you go to a barbecue, family dinner, and sometimes it's too runny. Sometimes people put chunky vegetables in it. It's just, people ruin it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, cooking is a lot of simple things done right, and we're here to show you that you can do it too.
Exactly, so let's get straight into it, guys. All right, guys, so we're gonna start off by getting our cutting boards real simple and easy here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get a paper towel. We're actually gonna wet it with some water. Now, you may have seen this in a couple of previous episodes, but notice how when Parker does it, he takes the paper towel, he's gonna wring it out just a little bit, and then he's gonna put it down on his station. And what this does, guys, is it stops the cutting board from moving around. So Parker, why don't we go ahead and start with just cutting some of these avocados. So Parker's gonna show you real quick how to do it really fast.
So we have a side with a pit and a side without a pit. Now, I'm just gonna sink my knife into the pit. Now, this is where some people go wrong because you'll see people fighting the pit. All you have to do is take this thumb and press the pit off of the knife, and you've done it safely.
Super easy, super easy.
Now, just take a spoon. I know you guys all have these at home. Take out the flesh, and you're good to go.
That's a great tip there. Hey, thanks for showing us that, Parker. So yeah, I'm gonna do one real quick too, just to show you guys. Take your knife, real simple. Make a cut just like that, go all the way around just like that, super simple. Twist it open, very easy. And then just like you said, take it, just give it a little whack. So now it's stuck in the seed and just twist it. It comes out super easy. Take the back of your thumb and remove it. Super simple. Now, what Parker did was really interesting was he basically scooped it out with a spoon. You could totally do that. Another thing you can do with your avocado is you can actually slice it sort of like in a grid-like way. So you start off with lines and then you go across just like that. So you see it's sort of like a grid. And then what you do is you take a spoon. You'll take a spoon just like this and you can easily scoop it out. And look how easily it comes out just like that. Straight into the bowl. Now guys, Parker did a really great job of putting the avocados into this bowl. What we gotta do now is we gotta add some lime juice to it really fast. Otherwise it'll start to brown. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna cut some limes open and we're gonna squeeze them into our bowl.
Right on, guys. So like Chef Jake mentioned, we wanna add limes. The reason why it actually stops it from browning is vitamin C is an antioxidant. So anytime something browns, it's oxidizing. So whether it's an apple, a potato, or this, that's why. Anyways, what you're gonna wanna do is take your lime, again, firmly roll it against the board here. It's gonna help it juice. Next, it depends on if you have a juicer or not. I think we're just gonna do this caveman style, but I'm simply gonna cut the ends off, cut down the middle, and then squeeze into our bowl.
Perfect. And while he does that, I'm actually gonna just add some salt into our bowl too. Guys, I just wanna say really fast, another huge thing that I see, not just in making guac, but just in general with cooking, I see people all the time getting all hyped up about all these different fancy ingredients, all these different types of, caviar and gold flakes and all this stuff, but they forget to add salt to the food and it ends up being really bland. So guys, when you're cooking, remember, add salt. It's such an underrated ingredient. So Parker's over here, he's gonna be squeezing his limes into our guac. I'm gonna get started on some of the cilantro. Now, oftentimes, another thing I see with guac that gets messed up a lot is people get lazy and they just cut up the cilantro and they don't pick the leaves out. So today we're gonna be picking the leaves. Our cilantro is nice. It's already been pre-washed and rolled nicely. So we have our cilantro here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the leaves off and I'm gonna show you really quickly a great way that you can do it that's really fast. When I worked at Empeon, which is a restaurant in New York City, you can Google it. they told us not to pick the leaves individually because it's gonna take forever. You're gonna be there forever. So what I like to do is I like to put the stems together like that and then pick the leaves off. And this way you can pick the leaves much faster. You can, by getting all the leaves together and then pulling them off. Another thing I like to do is you can put your fingers at the base and just pull up and all the leaves will come off. I'm gonna show you that one more time. So starting at the bottom, take the 2 leaves and then just push up, just like that. Now all the leaves come off. I just got 6 leaves just like that, as opposed to doing it one by one. Guys, if you're gonna be picking your cilantro, which I highly recommend you do, I really recommend that you do it this way because you're gonna end up with such a better product at the end of the day and it's gonna be better. Look at how much lime juice Parker put into this guac. This is a mistake I see a lot of people doing. They don't put enough lime juice into the guac. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. Don't be shy with the lime juice. Make sure you add a lot. This is probably, I would say, 1/4 cup. We used about 4 or 5 limes here. So don't be shy with the limes. So let's go ahead and we got about, what, I'd say 1/4 cup of cilantro here. I don't know about you, Parker, but I really like a lot of cilantro in my guac. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It makes it very fresh, very herbaceous. It's something you want to add.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so while Chef Jake is hard at work in the background, like I mentioned before, cooking is a lot of simple things done correctly. And I think that's why, especially if you're a beginner starting out, you really want to focus on fundamentals. Don't try to do anything fancy. Just focus on simple, actionable things and technique, and then you can make anything. Like he's mentioning, this is a simple dish. It's nice in the summer. It's 100 degrees or so in Boston today, as you can see. And we're just having a good time, 2 buddies making guac.
So grab your knife right at the base, just like that, and wrap it around. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my herbs in my hand like this, and I'm going to roll my fingers. I'm gonna curl them, okay? So while you're curling your fingers, you're gonna take your knife and you're just gonna go through. And I'm walking my fingers back as I'm cutting my cilantro. Guys, these are the fundamentals of cooking, just like Parker said earlier. If you can master the fundamentals, you can cook anything. We're giving you a recipe, but we're also giving you the skills to cook excellent food no matter what it is. So we're gonna add that cilantro, bam, right into our guac, because we really love cilantro. And that moves us to the next part of the guac. Okay guys, so at this point, we've done a lot of different things here. We've cut up our avocado, we juiced our limes, we added our cilantro, and now there's really only one more thing for us to do, which is add our garlic. And Parker's really excited to show us, exactly how would we add garlic into the guac. We're gonna be using fresh garlic, not powdered garlic, not powdered onion. We're not even using onion. That's a completely other debate. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know in the comments section, I don't think onion belongs in guac. I really don't. And if you're gonna add onion in guac, then mince it very fine, but it's very hard to pull it off right, oftentimes. Same with tomato. Let me know in the comments what you think. Another controversial topic. I don't think tomato belongs in guac either. I think it's done wrong oftentimes. It's too chunky. The idea of an excellent guac is simplicity. And oftentimes when you add so many different ingredients, you can't really taste the avocado anymore. It's just like a soup. So, we're only using four or 5 ingredients today, and we really believe that this is the right way to make guac. So Parker, kick us off. Show us how you do it with the garlic.
Cool. Garlic is very heat sensitive, okay? So if you insert a clove or 2 of garlic at the end of your dish, you're really gonna taste it. Today, we're gonna be turning this garlic into a paste, and I'm gonna show you the proper technique to do so. Another tip, I use a 6-inch chef's knife. You can do 99% of the things you need to do in a kitchen with this. For those of you that have knife blocks that you got at Target with a million knives inside, throw that away and invest in like a $40 Victorinox, and I promise you'll learn how to use it well. So, let's get into it. First of all, I'm just gonna take a couple cloves out. Jake and I, we're not shy with the garlic. We really like it.
That's right, we love it.
We love garlic, we love robust flavor. If you haven't seen this technique already, I'm not gonna sit here peeling it because I don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna give it a smack, and then the peel comes right off, just like that. Now, Jake's been kind enough to set up a waste bowl, and anytime you're doing any kind of mise en place prep work, you always wanna have a waste bowl to keep your workstation clean. Next, we're simply gonna slice off the butt of the garlic here, transfer that to the waste bowl, And I'm gonna do the same to the other cloves. As I'm doing this, right, like Jake mentioned, the commander's intent, if you will, of guac is simplicity. We talked about making a paste, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna simply get a rough chop on this garlic first. Now, Jake showed us a technique earlier called the roll chop, where rather than lifting the knife off the board, I'm rolling it on the board like so, just a little bit safer. So, as you can see, kind of a rougher chop on this. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some salt. The coarser, the better. This is about a kosher right here. We could go even more and use flaky salt. I'm gonna put some down on the board. Next, I'm gonna keep my fingers behind the edge of the knife. Very important, you don't want them here. And I'm simply going to start pressing the garlic into the salt to form a paste. As I do so, the salt's gonna dry out the water, and it's also going to act as an abrasive and begin to break down the garlic. And you see that took about 10 seconds to turn that into this. Simple. Gonna get it up onto my knife.
Hey, beautiful stuff, Parker. Thank you so much for showing us that. And it's gonna make a huge difference, okay? Like we said, it's not rocket science. All we're doing is we're just taking the basic fundamentals here and we're just doing them with excellence.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you end up with a product that just comes out better. So why don't we finish this guac? Why don't we just mash it up? And then the last thing I want to leave you guys with here. So far we've talked about a couple of different things that people do wrong. We also talked about some of the things you certainly don't want to do. You don't want to add chunky vegetables to it. You don't want to add chunky onion to it or chunky garlic or chunky tomatoes. And the last thing I want to leave you with is over mashed guac, okay? This is, and I'm looking at Parker right now and he's kind of smiling and laughing at me right now, but guys, it's the thing, it's like that tub you buy at the store and it's like you smear it, it's gross, it's black, like it's not even green anymore. This is not what we're making. We want to add ingredients that are going to help really elevate the avocado, but not take away from it. And so we really think that, by pureeing it or mashing it too much actually takes away from the texture of the avocado. So as you can see, this is our guac right now. I just want to show you this real quick. We got our lime juice, our garlic, our cilantro, and our salt. That's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this up by mashing it, but we're not gonna overdo it, okay? Now you can use a knife or whatever, just don't cut yourself. Don't sue me, please, because you cut yourself or you cut your eye. Take your butter knife and your fork, and I'm just gonna cut through. And I'm sort of doing a crisscross motion here. And this is the way my mother did it. And this is the way that my grandfather did it. And this is the way I grew up eating it. And you can do this really, I think the most authentic way really, if you wanted to get really authentic with this and geek out, is use a mortar and pestle. I don't have one, right now at the moment, but that's a great way to use it. And really, I like to mash it to about the consistency where there's still some chunks. And this isn't gonna oxidize or turn brown very quickly because as Parker described earlier, the vitamin C in the lime is going to keep this from turning brown. And so I really like to keep it chunky at about that, to be honest with you. I think that's perfect. The avocado is the star of the show here. And like I said, it's debatable. Look, I think just like anything, I think it can be done, but just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. And I think that if you're going to do it, like I would say you want to mince it really small. Like you want the flavor of the onion. Maybe you want the flavor of the tomato. We don't necessarily want the texture of it, it's because it kind of ruins it. There's nothing like crunching into a big onion, like we're trying to enjoy the...
I would say they should use shallots, something a little bit milder. There's a variety of different onions, pungent, not pungent. Shallots are pretty mild.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's give this guy a try. Let's see what we think. Now, another thing, guys, is with your guac, you want to make sure they use high quality chips. We're using the highest quality chips that you can buy. This video is sponsored by Tostito Scoops. It's not sponsored by.
Shout out.
It will be though. We will be sponsored eventually. We're not yet, but we will be. But we're going to be using Tostito Scoops today. Let's give it a try. Do you like Tostito Scoops?
I do. I do.
Why?
Well, because it lets you get more stuff, and if you don't like a lot of stuff on your chip, you're a baby. So
Yeah, and also, quick thing, let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite tortilla chip? So let's give this a try. Right here, let's see what we think. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. See?
Yeah.
It's not, guys, it's not supposed to be complicated. I think you could use a little bit of salt. Use a little bit of salt.
Yep. The acidity is correct.
The lime's great. You can taste the cilantro. You can taste the garlic. You could add more garlic if you wanted to. Guys, this is what guac is all about. And it's silly because, you know, we're making a video about guac, but it's done wrong so many times. So I think it's a disservice to our friends and family if we're not making a video on how to make it correctly. So let's try it again. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And what Chef Jake just did, right? Always try your food for salt and acid. Always. Because you have a chance before you plate it to yourself, your family, your guests, to correct anything that might have gone wrong.
Exactly. Guys, this has been such a pleasure. Parker, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, man.
We really appreciate you. We love you, bro. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in our next episode, and we'll see you next time on Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. Peace.